Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here coming at you from the Knife Center. And today we've got a great deal on the Boker Plus Tech Tool 3, marked down to a price of only $29.95. Let's check it out. So the Boker Plus Tech Tool series as a whole is a great Swiss Army knife alternative, and they've got a range of models with different tool sets, but today specifically, as I mentioned up top, we're looking at the Tech Tool 3 with carbon fiber handles. Now, since they have to compete with Victorinox, who have nearly completely dominated this genre of knife, Boker have tried to be a little forward-thinking to differentiate their product. First and foremost is the addition of a pocket clip to the Tech Tool series. And if you've wanted a Swiss Army knife with a pocket clip, you would only be able to turn to third-party solutions, but that's not so with this Boker. The pocket clip we get here is a nice deep carry affair, with just a hint of handle that sticks up above the top of the clip. Now the attachment of the clip is actually milled into the handle, so you only get a little bit of the screws sticking up. This helps when you're going to put it back into your pocket because there's not going to be a whole lot that's going to catch on your clothes. Now you can switch it to either side, so you can carry this knife tip up or tip down, but it's not reversible. But honestly, I don't think that matters that much. Because this is not a one-hand opening knife, you can still carry it on either side just as easily. On the end of the knife, we also see a glass breaker, which is typically only something you see that often on larger one-hand opening tactical knives. But this is a key piece of safety gear, and having it on the end of the knife here is a great way to always have one with you in case of an emergency. Another nice advancement on the Tech Tool 3 is a pop-out lanyard ring. That way you have the choice of whether you actually want to use that or not. Unlike Swiss Army knives that may have a fixed lanyard point, if you don't want to use it and want to keep the profile nice and clean, you can just fold it away. The blade steel on this knife is Sandvik's excellent 12C27 stainless, which is a definite step up from the typical Victorinox steel. This is a fine-grained steel with a good amount of toughness, and it takes a keen edge easily, and it's going to hold it for a decent amount of time as well. We've got a full-height hollow grind as opposed to the flat grind on most Swiss Army knives, and we get a nice classic-looking drop point shape. Comparing the blade shape to most Swiss Army knives this size, the Boker does have a little bit more belly. I actually really like the shape, and I think it would be great for my EDC needs, but if you want something with a little bit less belly, just keep that in mind. On the reverse side of the knife, we get a sharpenable awl, which I would say is pretty much on par with Victorinox offerings, as well as a corkscrew. Now, I've honestly never opened a bottle of wine with a pocket knife corkscrew, but I have used them for other purposes. I've found them to be really great at untying stubborn knots. We also get a bottle opener on this model, and the shape is somewhat in between the current Victorinox standard style and the old Wenger Swiss Army knife style. And we also get a wire stripper at the base, and the tip acts as a flathead driver and pry tool. The scissors on this model are actually similar to the old Wenger style of scissors, but they're lacking the micro serrations that those models had. What's nice about this is we have a very sturdy back spring. It actually uses the leaf spring of the slip joint for its tension, rather than the simple folded spring that most Victorinox models use. Lastly, and most interesting, we get a small serrated blade, and it doesn't actually open all the way, because it was designed to work on the reverse pull stroke most effectively. I could see this working very well on string or rope safely because it can hook in quite nicely, and it's also great for emergency needs in a pinch. It has a blunt tip so you can get in under materials without puncturing skin. You could get in under a seatbelt if trapped in a car, or remove clothing from around an injury. Like the glass breaker, it's great to have this bit of emergency kit without having to carry anything extra. The handles on this model are constructed from carbon fiber, although there are G10 options as well that have a nice slight radius to them. Either one of these options offers a cool differentiation from the Alox or Celador scales on most Swiss Army knives. Further setting this knife apart, they have a bit more of a traditional handle profile that has a nice sweep and it swells near the back, unlike the symmetrical nature of most Swiss Army knives. Now, we have nothing at all against Victorinox because they make dozens of great models, but they're so good it's hard for competitors to stand much of a chance, so we're glad to see Boker pushing the envelope of the genre a little bit. So what about you? Would any of you consider trying out one of the Boker Tech tools? Be sure to let us know in the comments, because now is the perfect time to pick one up, as this carbon fiber Tech Tool 3 is marked down to almost half our original price. You can pick one up now for just $29.95 while supplies last by using the link below. I'm David C. Anderson signing off from the Knife Center. See you next time.
Rolling.
Roll, can't use that. Compared to the blade shapes of most Swiss Army knives, we're inclusive here, or remove clothing from around an industry.
Remove the clothing from the knife industry.
Excellent.